This is KGW News at noon.
Thank you for joining us this noon. I'm Nina Melhoff. The number of people killed in our historic heat wave has gone up yet again. Oregon State Police confirm now that actually 107 people died. Yesterday, the state had the number at 94. So here's the breakdown of what we know. 67 died in Multnomah County, 13 in Marion, 11 in Clackamas, 9 in Washington, 2 in Deschutes, 2 in Lynn, and 1 each in Columbia, Umatilla, and Polk counties. The number of deaths could continue to grow even higher as counties report more information. We're going to have much more on this coming up in our evening newscasts. New at noon, $500 million. That is how much money Phil and Penny Knight are giving to the University of Oregon. It's the latest gift to the U of O from the Nike founder. The money will be used to build phase 2 of the Phil and Penny Knight campus for accelerating scientific impact. There'll be a new building, and the money will also be used to pay for endowed faculty positions. The Knights first donated $500 million in 2016 to get the project off the ground, and the campus opened last year.
With this gift, they pushed this university, our state, to new levels of discovery, innovation, and collaboration. This moment is accredited to all of our hardworking faculty, staff, and students. But this gift also challenges us all, as it gives us the opportunity to change the world.
Portland-based ZGF Architects will build the new 175,000 square foot building. Now to Portland, where it is truly remarkable. No one was hurt when someone fired more than 80 gunshots in a Northeast Portland neighborhood. This was Saturday night on Northeast Wygant between 7th and 8th Avenue. It's right next to King Elementary School. You can see the bullet holes at this apartment. We talked with Deandros Robinson, who lives there. He was asleep when the gunfire started, and one of those bullets went through an exterior wall right into his bedroom.
It went through the wall and it went in my mattress, where I was laying. So it was very close. It could have hit my head. It could have hit anything.
The bullets hit 4 apartments and 4 cars. So far this year, there have been more than 570 shooting incidents. That's more than double the number in the same time period last year. Now, on our 6 p.m. the show called The Story with Dan Haggerty, we've been talking with community advocates and victims of gun violence in Portland to get a better sense of what's led to the increase in shootings and what it might take to turn things around. You can watch our full special report right now. It's up on our KGW YouTube channel. We will continue to cover this issue, so let us know if you have an idea of something we should look into. National news now, we're talking about Tropical Storm Elsa just hammering Key West, Florida. People out there taking pictures, kind of taking in the sights. Elsa packing 60-mile-per-hour winds. A tropical storm warning is in effect for that area, but local business owners say they are prepared.
We're happy that it's going to go by without too much damage, not too much seaweed, hopefully, at the end of the day.
3 to 5 inches of rain are expected through tomorrow across the Keys. Let's bring in meteorologist Joe Ranieri. You've been tracking Elsa. Where is she now, Joe?
Now, as you look at this map, we have lots of watches and warnings that basically encompass the entire state of Florida practically. You can kind of see that orange color is the tornado watches that are in effect until late tonight. There's also a tropical storm warning. That pink color is actually a hurricane warning. Why is that? Well, Tropical Storm Elsa will turn into a Category 1 hurricane as it reaches the west side of Florida later on this afternoon and evening. You can see some of the bands starting to move in right now. And here's the current track. Like I said, it's tropical storm right now with wind speeds right around 70 miles per hour, but as it continues to kind of just build a lot of strength over the warm Atlantic, Gulf of Mexico Ocean, I should say, it's going to continue to grow to about 75 mile per hour winds. And then heading into the later part of the week, we'll be seeing that turn into a tropical depression. And here's what's called the spaghetti model. Most models show it starting to move on the west side of Florida before it kind of changes directions to the east side, bringing in a lot of rain through parts of the Carolinas before it goes back out into the Atlantic later on this week. And coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll talk more about our local forecast. And I'm tracking some small changes heading into late tonight and into tomorrow morning.
All right, Joe, we'll see you then. Thank you. Staying in Florida, the community of Surfside is adding more flowers to the makeshift memorial near the site of that collapsed condo building. More than 40 boxes of flowers have been donated. The memorial, you can see, includes photos, posters, a Surfside Strong sign, and that flag of Puerto Rico. Today, officials found more bodies, bringing the number of victims to 32. Yet still 113 people are unaccounted for. Officials are also preparing for bad weather from Tropical Storm Elsa.
We do continue to expect occasional gusts and strong showers today, and we're closely monitoring the weather, and we now have our weather service embedded within our search and rescue teams.
Yeah, it's because crews had to stop working briefly overnight because of lightning. Work has resumed for a 13th day. The White House, meanwhile, making another push to get more people vaccinated. The country did not meet Joe Biden's 4th of July goal of having 70% of people vaccinated. Just 67% of Americans have had at least one shot right now. 4 states are actually below 40%. Record holiday travel and looser COVID restrictions nationwide have experts concerned.
Being unvaccinated on this day in July of 2021 is fundamentally more risky than if you were unvaccinated at this point last year.
Right now, 99% of COVID deaths are people who have not been vaccinated. As the Delta variant spreads, some cities like LA and St. Louis are even advising people to wear masks inside again. A Portland restaurant owner who at one point thought she'd have to close down for good is ready for a post-pandemic comeback. She and her staff actually got COVID themselves. Our Bryant Clerkley has an update on Arden in the Pearl.
I mean, I would say the hardest part was that first 2 weeks, letting everyone go, not knowing if they would be taken care of, not knowing if we would survive.
Owner Kelsey Glasser is preparing for an influx in customers at Arden. She's learned a lot in the past year and believes knowing how to pivot helped save her business.
We got a retail license. We started doing food as takeout, which we'd never done until this point. We started doing virtual wine tastings. So all of the above.
Without money from the government, she doesn't think her business would have made it. She had to delay paying rent and utilities so she could pay her employees.
You know, the PPP really helped people survive and at least just get from point A to point B. But, you know, most restaurants are operating at a loss right now, or have been most of the year.
She says that PPP loan was worth 2.5 months of payroll. Now Glasser can finally look forward, but will never forget the lessons from this past year.
Optimism and a willingness to always change. You know, I think actually the fact that we're a young restaurant and we're a young team helped us be very resilient.
Labor shortages still plaguing a lot of restaurants. At Arden, out of the 10 original employees, 8 have come back to work. Oregon wineries are also making a comeback. Places like King Estate Winery and Pfeiffer Winery are seeing plenty of returning customers. In fact, in some cases, they're having trouble keeping up with the sudden surge.
We can't keep up with the events. We have all sorts of wedding receptions and bachelor receptions and birthday parties.
You're in the shade and listening to the sound of the water feature. You know, it couldn't be better. It's wonderful.
Yeah, people want things to do. So before visiting, make a reservation or at least call ahead to make sure tasting rooms aren't filled up. As for that recent heat wave, the folks at Pfeiffer Winery don't expect it to have a big impact on their grapes. They say luckily the heat came early enough in the season, so the grapes should be fine.